Hello everyone and welcome to the Smashi Business Show. Today is Wednesday, July 30th, one day left before this month ends. I'm Abdul Majid Awan.
And I'm Warid Ahmed, and we've got a packed show for you today. First up, Calo has raised $39 million in a Series B extension. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund has been named the most valuable and fastest growing sovereign wealth fund. And Binghatti has unveiled a $570 million Dubai Twin Tower project at a launch event in Egypt. And finally, there is an update regarding Telegram CEO Pavel Durov. He's been questioned by French authorities over the platform's alleged criminal use.
The very first story today is Calo, Saudi headquartered food tech startup. Calo has raised $39 million. That's nearly equal to 146 million Saudi riyals in a Series B extension round led by Al Jazeera Capital. This brings Calo's total Series B funding to $64 million after an initial 25 million raised in 2024 December. The round was oversubscribed and follows the company's acquisitions in the UK.
So existing investors including Nua Capital, STV, Khawarizmi Ventures and Al Faisala Group returned for the extension, with Arasiya Capital joining as a new backer. So the funds will support Calo's international expansion, especially in Europe, where it has acquired both fresh fitness food and detox kitchen into its operations.
And Calo reported over 50% year-on-year growth in H1 2025 and now runs more than 10 physical stores across the GCC. Its expansion strategy includes geographic scaling, segment diversification, and model innovation, with plans to launch healthy consumer products and expand on-demand services.
So the company is also piloting Calo Black, an AI-powered private chef that creates personalized menus using large language models. Now it's part of Calo's broader push to integrate artificial intelligence across its services. So Deliveroo veteran Caroline Hazelhurst has joined as COO, and an IPO is planned for 2027.
And Calo is active in a lot of countries, that's Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and the UK, which is the one and only of their European places where they are, and they have nearly 10 million meals delivered last year in 2024. And with strong investor support and global ambitions, Calo aims to lead the personalized nutrition space from its Riyadh headquarters. Mind you, they were born in Bahrain.
Yeah, they were born in Bahrain and they're headquartered in Saudi Arabia. But I think, for me, both of the founders, Ahmed Al-Harawi and Muayyad Al-Muayyad, their story is honestly so inspiring, because I think I told the story on the show before, but the fact is, how it actually started is it started with Ahmed Al-Harawi. Yeah. He was the original founders that came up with the entire idea. Muayyad Al-Muayyad was the investor that jumped on the board and that was like, you know what, I will help you scale this. So he's behind the entire scaling of this. And obviously when it was first founded, they did not want to immediately put a lot of funding into the entire project. So what they did was, there was this bowling alley, and in this bowling alley, there was a kitchen, and this kitchen was just left untouched. It was not operating. So they rented out that kitchen, and that is how they started their entire food delivery service, and where they actually created the food. And it was like the beginning for them. And then obviously now we're seeing how successful they are. But I think to me, their story is proof that sometimes you need somebody with the idea and somebody else who just completely believes in it and is ready to scale it with you. And I believe with Muayyad Al-Muayyad, he has a lot of experience in managing funds. He worked for this place called Pinnacle Capital, that basically manages $200 million in venture capital, and they fund a lot of companies. So I think having someone like that as your right hand, 100% your company is going to be successful.
Yeah, I read a recent LinkedIn post, and it was by the lady who does podcasts. I will forget her name. I remember her face. And she had a very nice opinion on how people with ideas and a lack of funding, they usually need a support structure. And the story of Calo, obviously, it leads to that you need someone to just believe in your idea. That's it. Someone to listen to it and be like, okay, if it works in your brain, we'll make it work on paper, and then eventually we'll execute it as well. So it's very important that you get a good partner, and especially in startups, partnerships are the best thing that can happen to you. And if you get a good partner, you'll scale it big. Bad partnerships can lead to a lot of problems. So yeah, always find a good partner for yourself if you're a startup.
That's
the
very
lesson
true.
of the story.
It's so true, and I feel like a prime example of that is definitely fixed chocolate. And for me, fixed chocolate in this case, like honestly, I think of the real co-founder not even as Sarah Hamuda's husband, but rather that Filipino chef who actually helped her create the entire recipe.
Yeah.
And now he's not in the entire marketing scene. His name is not being mentioned at all. And this is not even the first time that a case like this happens. Another really good one is Gymshark. Both of them, Louis Francis, and the other one, something Morgan. I just know that.
Yeah.
So both of these two, they work together in founding Gymshark in the UK. Obviously, we've just seen how they've opened a really big shop in Dubai Mall. But now, Louis Francis does not mention his co-founder at all. It's been founded by him. He's the genius. He did it all himself. So
I think it's just who is more marketable as a founder. I always give this example. No one knows anyone else apart from Bill Gates when it comes to Microsoft. He had partners. Steve Jobs, everyone knows him for Apple. No one talks about Steve Wozniacki. No one talks about any other thing.
It's Ben Francis.
Oh,
the other guy is Louis Morgan.
Louis Morgan,
I put
Ben
them
Francis.
together.
It's okay. But yeah, the idea is the one person whose face sticks, usually people know them, but it's good to know the other founders as well. Yesterday we did a story about lean technologies as well. A lot of people, even when you see speaking opportunities, it's always Al-Falasi, the founder, the Saudi guy, he's always there. But actually it's 3 people who founded it. There's Ashu Gupta and there's another one, 2 Indians and 1 Saudi. But obviously, I think it's a strategy by companies as well.
Yeah.
The face which is more marketable. So if you're a Saudi startup, you put your best foot in front, and that's a Saudi person, right? You will never put an Indian person in a Saudi market, in a very Saudi specific.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Even with Ninja, the Saudi startup that recently became a unicorn, they always lead with Ibrahim Al-Jassim.
Yeah.
We led with Ibrahim Al-Jassim, and I think in his case, he has the luck of being somebody who founded a very successful company like Hunger Station, so that's why you lead with someone like him. But I think in the case of Gymshark, I don't think it's about even who it's better to market, because their story...
They had a fight, literal fight.
Their story is honestly really inspiring. Like with Gymshark, for me, what stood out to me is the fact that they were teenagers. They were teenagers, and this was all in their parking lot, in their house, and that's how they came up with everything. And Gymshark now is so successful. I mean, their celebrity endorsements, the amounts that they're investing in celebrities, that tells me what I need to know. I think
the idea that the thing that you're talking about, just randomly there's a bulb lighting moment in my head. We always talk about founders dropping out of colleges, right? It's like one thing you need to do to become Mark Zuckerberg or anyone in the world that we know. No one talks about the importance of garages and basements, right? No one talks about them.
What? Imagine, what are you
I'll
saying?
give you so many examples. It just popped up in my mind. We talk about BFL, Brands for Less, Tawfiq. You hear his origin story. He and his friend started in a basement. Local version of Gymshark, what's that? The Wolf thing? Wolf something. We always do their founders, the husband and wife.
I know what you're talking about.
So they started in a small space inside their home. Then these guys, bowling alley, some corner, everyone starts. Squat Wolf. Microsoft, garage of the house, everything started
Honestly,
from this.
But it just sounds like a bunch of
non-office
broke
space.
people who don't have anywhere else to go, so they're going to bother
You
their
need to
parents.
talk about them. So you need to drop out of college and you need to find a basement or a garage or a very non-office, non-corporate.
Not in Dubai. I'm not going to go out to the parking lot in 48 degrees and do anything.
I think we need to, but we need to stick them together now. It's a Smashi business thing. If we tell you to drop out of college, we also say find a garage, find a space which is non-corporate, find an office which is not an office space, and I think the juices will start flowing more in those creative spaces. I think Augustus Media also, we started in a very small space in JLT. I've never seen that office. I wasn't part of the office. Now we have a very grand, very posh, very nice looking office.
Are you calling that office a garage?
No, but they started. But I think in Dubai, you're right. You can't do that because it's heat and all that stuff. But I think it's a good thing about Dubai and UAE and overall as well, because you have Hub 71, you have so many 2424. There's so many spaces that they actually provide you, where they provide you a two-table desk, so you can start up with your idea. You don't need to go to a garage, or you don't need to find a basement.
To be honest with you, Majid, it doesn't speak to garage as being a part of the journey, but rather that if you have an idea and you want to do something, you should just start wherever you are, even if that means the extra empty room in your parents' house. You can still do it.
There's another suggestion on comments. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but they're saying maybe sleep on a couch too. I have a couch story too. We went to Step recently last year. We will go again. Obviously, we've been there for 4 or 5 years. It's a startup place in Dubai Internet City. A lot of startups come there. The founder actually slept on his brother's couch before starting Step. So we have a couch story as well, that he was sleeping there, had $10 in his pocket. We did a Dreamers video on him as well. So it's very important that you go through, I think it's not that dropping out or garages. It's just that you go through a hardship phase, and that is where your survival instinct kicks in. And that is the best time to go into entrepreneurship, because you're ready for the struggle. You're mentally prepared that
Are you ready for the struggle, Majid?
No, I'm in a very comfortable position. I'm not going into entrepreneurship. It's a very difficult thing to do. Hats off to the people who actually go on, stick to the business, stay there for like 3-4 years, struggle through it, and then eventually they become a big brand. No one sees that struggle. People talk a lot about it, but no one actually can experience it apart from that person. Again, our example, Augustus Media, Rich left his job. You listen to Rich's story and you're like, bro, thank you so much for doing that. So today we have such a nice place to sit and do the show and do all of this stuff. But it's a lot of interesting stories. They're very inspiring, but I think Vard will be our next entrepreneur. I'm past that age, I think.
Inshallah.
So moving on to...
I don't think you're past that stage, but just moving on to our next story. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund has been named the most valuable and fastest growing sovereign wealth fund brand in 2025, according to Brand Finance. So PIF's brand is now valued at $1.2 billion, an 11% increase from 2024, making it the top SWF brand globally.
And PIF also ranked 7th in brand value to assets under management ratio among all asset management and sovereign wealth fund brands combined, the only sovereign wealth fund to make the top 10. The recognition reflects PIF's rapid AUM growth, assets under management growth, and strong performance from its expanding portfolio and maturing long-term investments.
So the ranking is part of Brand Finance Asset Management and Sovereign Wealth Fund 50 2025 report. So now in its second year, the report shows total brand value across the 50 ranked firms rose by 5% year on year to nearly $74 billion.
And BlackRock topped the list. Obviously, they have like 13 trillion in assets now, but their brand value is $8.3 billion, up 17% from 2024. The growth is accredited to their rising assets under management. I think nearly a quarter of their assets under management are now in Middle East, because we've seen them grow so much. They have a Dubai office, they have a Abu Dhabi office there. They recently met with Kuwait's Amir, Larry Fink. He's all over Middle East right now because capital is here.
And Brand Finance noted BlackRock's latest acquisition spree includes HPS Investment Partners and 2 others, totaling $30 billion. But really, the big news here is how far Saudi Arabia's public investment fund has come. I remember there was a time where it was just worth $975 million. So the fact that they've now reached $1.2 billion and they're rising more. And this especially comes during a time where everyone is constantly discussing the budget cuts that are happening in Saudi Arabia related to its mega city project NEOM that is allegedly worth $500 million and more, according to other estimates by Western news outlets. And the fact that their fund, that its value keeps going up is honestly very telling that the investments that they're making have a lot of returns.
There's a very nice comment. Ilhama Saeed. She says, In Arabic, I'm translating it. It's you light up the studio, may God protect you.
Magic,
Who's
that
that?
is my mother.
Hi.
That is my mother.
Hi, Words Mother. Thank you for
Oh
joining
my
us on the
God.
show. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Everyone, you can comment. We'll read your
Oh
comments.
my God.
Please write nice things about us. Or you can comment on the stories that we're talking about. Yeah, the important thing about Saudi PIF is, I remember we were talking about Jeddah Tower being restarted,
Yeah,
becoming
by
bigger than
Al-Walid
Burj
bin Talal.
Khalifa. Yeah, the 1 kilometer long tower, Dubai's Burj Khalifa is 890 meters, I think, if I'm not wrong. So they're trying to build that. And I remember I went and Prince Al-Walid bin Talal disappeared for a long time. He came back and we saw, oh, he's back. I went to his older interviews. There was this one interview I told you about when they were digging the ground on Jeddah Tower. A reporter asked him that, what are you going to, what do you want to achieve with this? And he was like, we just want to build something which is not anywhere else. But the important thing that I found in that like 15, 20-minute long interview was he actually proposed a PIF. So it was his brainchild that he proposed like, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago that Saudi Arabia should have a sovereign wealth fund. And at that time, he referred to Oslo, Norway, the biggest sovereign wealth fund in the world in terms of assets under management. But now ADIA is bigger than them. So he pointed to them. So imagine he had a foresight of like a decade ago. He, at that point, even knew that we should have something as a sovereign wealth fund. And then, thankfully, the new Saudi Crown Prince, he came, and we all know what happened. Saudi Arabia's PIF has become this giant, this mammoth that is
Yeah.
literally taking over anything which is worth
I
investing
think,
in.
like, just off the top of my head, I
Yeah.
can think of how in 2021 they've acquired Newcastle,
Yeah.
the football team, and they also own 60% of the NBC,
Yeah.
which is basically the most popular media channel in the Arab world. And you know,
Like
they're
even I remember it because in my childhood there was no option of YouTube or anything. It was just TV, right? So in Pakistan, even in Asian region, even if you had something in Arabic or English, it was NBC. There was nothing else. So
NBC
imagine
One,
it's so
NBC Two,
important.
NBC Three,
Yeah,
NBC Action,
all
NBC
these,
Bollywood.
yeah. So imagine they're part of such, so internal investments and external investments. You can't say that PIF is only investing in Europe or North America on this. They're also investing inside. They have so many startups under their wing through one of their VC funds. So there's so much happening. And all that is because this guy thought of an idea and then eventually someone came up and was like, yeah, he said, he was right. We should make a sovereign wealth fund. And then they made it, and today it's such a giant mammoth. So it's the more important story is the growth. That how 10 years, I think 15 years ago, if you looked at Middle East, you only saw oil. Now you look at Middle East and you
Yeah.
think investments.
Yeah, PIF
You
is
don't think
definitely a
oil.
part of that diversification.
Yeah.
And Humane, the new artificial intelligence company that is currently headed by Tariq Amin in Saudi Arabia, is actually backed by PIF. It's backed by Crown Prince Salman. So I think we also have to give Yasser Al Rumayyan a lot of credit here for putting the entire fund on a global stage.
Yeah.
If you take a look at every single business summit that is coming up, he's there right in the center on the stage. And do you remember, Majid, when the United States announced that they too are going to have a sovereign wealth fund?
Yeah.
And Donald Trump is basically saying, he was talking about Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, and he's like, that's pretty good.
And
if-
that's an
if-
example that we should follow.
Exactly,
Right?
and if Donald Trump is jealous of something that you have, then it's definitely top tier.
Our former producer is also in the comments, Hisham. Hi, Hisham. He's sending love. He's sending hearts. Thank you, Hisham. I'll take all three of them. But yeah, main important thing is it's not just Saudi PIF, Qatar's investment authority, Kuwait, all these sovereign wealth funds that we have in the Gulf. Everyone is coming here to take some part out of it, right? Everyone wants a piece of it. Everyone wants some money from them. A lot of people.
Is it only one fund in Saudi?
Yeah, Saudi Arabia only has one
And
fund.
I think that this is, in this specific case, that's why UAE, comparatively to Qatar, to Oman, to Saudi, they stand out because they have so many
So many.
funds. They
It's
have
only
so many funds.
4 in Abu Dhabi alone, 1 in Dubai that I know of, Dubai Investment something. So there's 1 here, 4 there. It's so many of them.
It's extremely
Yeah.
organized. It's
So even if you
organized.
combine all of them, then they're bigger than anyone else in the world. But city-wise, Abu Dhabi is the richest city in the world because they have 4 sovereign wealth funds, ADIA, ADQ. Why do I always forget? Mubadala and the fourth one. There's another one, I always forget their name. They're small, so I think we don't do a lot of stories on them.
MGX?
No, MGX is part of a combined thing between, it's Abu Dhabi government initiative actually, and Mubadala is a partner in it. So yeah, a lot of money there. But it's good that these things are coming up. Brand Finance is a London-based company which evaluates the value of the brands of all these things. Now they are even recognizing it. The whole world is recognizing how big Middle East has become.
It has become big. And right now, a brand that is being recognized everywhere, and even in Egypt, is Binghatti. So what happened here is that Dubai-based developer Binghatti has unveiled a $570 million twin tower residential project called Binghatti Flair in Dubai's Jumeirah Village Triangle. But what I think stands out here is the fact that the launch event took place at Egypt's north coast, attracting over 7,500 Egyptian guests, including celebrities, investors, and key industry figures.
And the project will feature 1,300 residential units, a man-made beach, and more than 20 shared amenities across Tower 1 and 2, located near Palm Jumeirah and Blue Waters Island. I love Blue Waters Island, by the way. The development aims to offer luxury living with architectural flair and resort-style experiences.
So Binghatti currently has around 20,000 units under development across 30 projects in key Dubai locations like downtown, Business Bay, JVC, El Jaddaf, and Meydan. So the Egypt launch offered investors personalized and consultations and exclusive offers, signaling a strong push toward regional engagement.
And Chairman Mohammed Binghatti said the move reflects the company's commitment to Egyptian buyers and the region's investment potential. He emphasized that Binghatti projects are more than homes. They're iconic landmarks designed to leave a generational impact.
So the El Alamin Gala marks a symbolic step in Benghatti's global ambitions, aiming to bridge regions, connect investors, and really redefine luxury. Like, you know, I think what I found hilarious about the entire thing is you have Terry Crews in Egypt.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Terry Crews in Egypt. And if you're wondering why is Terry Crews in Egypt with Binghatti, it's because Terry Crews, I believe, is their brand ambassador. In every single property show that they host, he is usually there, right in the center, giving a presentation. But, you know, for the people asking, like, why are they hosting the event in Egypt for a launch set to take place in Dubai? By the way, when I saw the headline, I'm like, wow, Binghatti has expanded to Egypt? That is exactly what I thought. But the reasoning here is we actually have 420,000 Egyptians who are living in the UAE. And much more than that, you have a lot of Egyptian celebrities, musicians that are always making appearances in Dubai, most notably Amr Diab. He is always here. And in fact, Amr Diab himself is the brand ambassador, I believe, for One Development.
Nice.
Every single launch event that they have, he is there, right in center.
I think the last numbers I remember, obviously Indians are the biggest numbers in terms of buying property in Dubai. But I remember we did some report. I think we did it or we didn't do it, but I read it somewhere. The Egyptians, Egyptians are the fastest growing buyers in Dubai right now. So percentage-wise, the growth that we saw from Egyptian buyers was the fastest. So I think it makes sense that they went to Egypt and they're like, okay, Egyptians are buying, they're growing, they're investing more in Dubai. So why not do an event there, show them that this is what we're building and come, buy. So very nice marketing strategy, to be honest. And next up, let's talk about one of the people who actually got the UAE passport for the work that he's done. He's the founder of Telegram, and he's a billionaire. He's still the youngest billionaire in the Middle East, Pavel Durov. He was questioned recently by French authorities in Paris on Monday, actually yesterday, one day before, and he was questioned over the platform's alleged involvement in criminal activity, and the whole story was exclusively reported by AFP. The important thing to remember is AFP is Agence France-Presse, basically French press agency, and that is why I think they have so much exclusive news whenever it comes to Pavel Durov. Even when he came to Dubai recently, they were the ones who broke the news. And this marks his third round of questioning since being formally charged as part of an ongoing legal investigation in France.
Hopefully, fourth time's a charm, and we see him out and about.
Yeah.
So Durov actually spent the full day with magistrates, accompanied by 4 lawyers. His legal team stated that he presented evidence demonstrating that inanity of the facts behind the case. So the details of the allegations remain confidential, but French authorities are reportedly investigating the use of Telegram for illegal activities.
And in June this year, French officials eased Durov's travel restrictions, allowing him to leave the country for up to 2 weeks at a time, but only to Dubai, where he's been based since 2017 after becoming a citizen of the UAE.
So Durov, who famously founded Telegram after leaving Russia, is the Middle East's richest and youngest billionaire, as Majid said, with a net worth of $17 billion as of July 2025, according to Forbes.
And the case has drawn global attention due to Telegram's massive user base and its reputation for encrypted private communications features, both praised and criticized depending on their use.
Look, when I take a look at Pavel Durov's story, he's an extremely inspiring man.
Yeah.
Firstly, he's 40 years old, and he's doing great. Telegram is doing great. In fact, just very recently, in 2024, they made total revenue of almost $1.5 billion. And in fact, they achieved their first annual profit of over $500 million when the year before that, they lost over $170 million. So the fact that the company is doing this great, they're also partnering with Elon Musk in this $300 million cash deal in equity, where basically Grok, the chatbot by X, is going to be integrated into Telegram services.
Yeah.
So it's funny that he's undergoing all of this in France, but
Yeah.
he's doing great. Honestly, I wish the French authorities would ask more questions about Brigitte, much rather than Pavel. But his company is doing a great job.
The main thing is the only case that the French authorities have right now is somehow to make an example out of him, because never in the history of humanity, tech, anything, a founder has been found guilty of the criminal activities that are being carried on his platform. It's never been done. So if somehow they get even one accusation that they've labeled against him, one of them comes out right, it will cause a havoc for all tech founders. Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, anyone who has a platform which can be or is being used for criminal activity, all of them will be charged then, because it's not just him. And all of these platforms claim privacy. WhatsApp says your message is end-to-end encrypted. Facebook says the same thing. The whole of Meta basically says the same thing. Elon Musk, very big on privacy, that, oh, we'll never share your data with anyone. Pavel Durov, he took one step back in all of this. He said that since he's been arrested and French authorities have questioned him, he came out, he put on a message on Telegram, which now says that only if you're certified and you're seen doing criminal activity using Telegram, only then we'll share your data with French authorities or relevant authorities if it's being carried out in any other country. So now he has moved forward. He is still saying that I'm not responsible for anything that is being carried out on my platform. And every platform has black sheep. Every platform is being used for a lot of weird stuff. I'll give you one example. In Pakistan, there's a lot of bomb blasts that happen, and a lot of them, in the start, it was suicide bombers, people carrying jackets, going and blasting. But then they became technologically advanced, and they started doing report bombings. So the first thing the government did, and a lot of underdeveloped countries do this, whenever there's a rally or there's a big event, they shut down the telephone networks. But these guys found a way around it. So they were like, okay, you'll shut down the telecommunications, you'll shut down the phones, but we'll use internet. So they would use WhatsApp calling, there's Skype, they'll use any internet service which can make a call on a phone. So now they shut down the internet as well. So that whole area, wherever something is happening, they shut down the networks, they shut down the internet across the area. So nothing of that sort can happen. So you'll always have some people who will be doing something wrong using your platform.
Yeah.
The question right now in front of the world is, not French authorities, not Pavel, in front of the whole world is, do you make the founder or the creator of that app responsible for it? And if Pavel, by any chance, there is a very low chance, it's just a case to make the people scared. I think eventually Pavel will come out clean.
You know what it is with Pavel too? I think that, you know, this person, I remember he said this on a podcast on the Tucker Carlson show, where he said that he actually tried to headquarter Telegram in so many countries. He went to so many countries all over the world. And one example that particularly stood out to me was him going to the US and what happened there. Essentially what happened is when he tried to set up there, at some point he was walking the street, someone tried to, you know, steal his phone and they tried to harm him. But even the more bigger example is the fact that they tried to, I believe it was the FBI, but they tried to receive intel about Telegram from one of his engineers.
Yeah, they wanted to hire him to work for them.
Yeah, they wanted to hire him, and then they also wanted to actually come work for Telegram themselves. So I think after all this time, you know, this is somebody who really stood for their values of no, we are going to protect our users. He's done it so many times. He's done it against the FBI. So the fact that now that this battle is ongoing in France, I really do hope that it does work out.
And he's very exclusive, to be honest. I've tried to listen to his speeches. He's been at a few events when Telegram became a big thing, and he went for a lot of like individual talks, then part of the panel. He never gave an interview to anyone. Only Tucker Carlson was the person who he actually gave an interview. You just go and Google that interview. It's such an interesting take. The whole interview is such
I believe they
an
also did
intriguing
another one
piece.
recently.
Yeah, and the very interesting thing, the guy asked him, like, Tucker Carlson asked him, like, do you use a phone? How much do you? He's like, I don't use the phone at all. I just use it to test my Telegram services. Apart from that, I always keep it away. And Tucker Carlson, like, shows that how much a tech founder of a app which is used on a smartphone stays away from the phone. It shows that how harmful can it be, or whatever are the consequences of always having a smart device on you.
Yeah.
But he didn't say anything. He was like, yeah, I just don't use the phone. So just imagine the level of intrigue made by this man. He's a very interesting character.
Yeah, and that's a wrap for today, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into the Smashy Business Show. Make sure to follow us across all of our social media channels at Smashy Business, and stay ahead with our daily newsletter. You'll find the subscription link in the description.
This has been a Smashy Business Show, a Smashy Business production, part of the Augustus Media podcast. A big shout out to our new updated 2.5 million monthly listeners across all Augustus Media platforms. We have Love-In shows, we have Smashy shows, whatever your poison is, as I always say, whatever you want to listen to.
We are not poison.
Whatever you want to listen to, whatever you want to know about. There's Love in Dubai, Love in Abu Dhabi, Love in Bahrain. We have a Love in Palestine page. We have so many Love in brands, and then we have so many Smashy brands. Love in Smashy Sports, Smashy Entertainment. There's a podcast for Smashy Business, which you're listening to right now if you're listening. So thank you very much, every one of you who makes it possible. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. And thank you for this guy who's been commenting all day. Victory to you, and hearts. He's commenting victory. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see everyone else also tomorrow. Have a great day.